Hi guys, so I thought I'd do a little update and sorry I look so crappy, but I've had a really shit night's sleep and I'm waiting for my PIP assessment today. So my anxiety is like through the roof. Yeah, I'm like tracking my heart rate to see what happens at the moment. Um, but yeah, since my last video, I have been to the cardiology department and had a ECG done or something like that, the one where they scan your heart, and they said that my heart rate is really fast, which is no surprise because I've already been told that before. So I'm gonna have to go on a heart monitor for a week at some point, which explains why I've been feeling so dizzy for like over a year now. So yeah, really not looking forward to my assessment later. I feel really anxious about it because I have had a couple of okay weeks, which with mental health problems, I think you find when you have a good couple of weeks, you think, oh yeah, I'm better now. And then you just feel like a liar for wanting to get some help or something. I spoke to my boyfriend about it and I was like, I don't even know if I should do this assessment now because I've been okay the past couple of weeks. And he said, yeah, but when you're bad, you're really bad. And I said, yeah, I guess, yeah, I am. But I think your brain kind of tries to trick you into thinking that you're better than you are, if that makes sense. And like, it's such a bad thing to ask for help. So yeah, I know that I've had a good few weeks, but on the grand scheme of things, I have a lot more bad weeks than good weeks, especially within the past couple of years. So I will keep you updated anyway. I'll probably just add it to this video, like how my assessment goes. My fiance is going to come back from work early, so he's going to sit with me through it. And yeah, I just really hope that I have a nice assessor and that they really listen to me and and that they are good. I'm back from the assessment and it's bloody awful. They kind of go over the questions like 3 or 4 times. They ask you the same question, but they keep on like going on to different questions, and then they'll come back to the question that they asked you before, and it's just to try to make sure that you're not going to contradict yourself in any way. Which obviously, because I'm telling the truth, I didn't contradict myself, but I did kind of feel like, why do you keep on asking me the same question? It got onto the bit where we were talking about bus journeys or like any journey, and I said to them that for work I have to take the bus to get to my job, but I said it's a journey that I've been taking since I was under 3. It's one that I'm familiar with. But it's still one that I get anxiety on. And I said I've been to work late several times because of fearing there being so many people on the bus. And at that point, my body decided to have a massive panic attack. So I was trying to talk and then I had a panic attack because everything just went all over my head and I was just thinking, come and save me, somebody. But I had my fiance there with me, so he like told me to breathe and helped me through it. And the assessor was nice at that point. She said, don't worry, just take your time. It's okay, just go at your own pace, which I thought was really nice. I had to get her to repeat herself quite a lot as well, which she did, and she like went a bit slower for me. There was also like a case manager that was listening in. They did ask me at the beginning if I minded that, and I just said no, that's fine. I don't know what their job was, but she kind of at the end of the call asked me some questions. Again, they were questions that I'd already answered, but I answered exactly the same as I did before. One of the questions that she asked me was, she said, it says on your form that you get lost in unfamiliar places. Can you explain that? And I said, yeah, I could go to a place like 5 or 6 times, and I still, if I went there the 7th time, I wouldn't know that I've been there before. I don't know whether that's an anxiety thing, but it's definitely a thing that happens with me. So I always need somebody to come with me to unfamiliar places because I just get massive anxiety. So the only journey that I can physically do on my own is that one journey that I've been doing since I was under 3. Any other journey, I need somebody with me, and it's usually my fiance. So I explained that to her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, she just went on to ask me questions like, "Have you ever had the fire brigade out?" And I was thinking, "Why are you asking me that?" But it's all to do with. Sorry about that. My fiance let the cat in. Beals. She's just shaking her bum at the moment. So yeah, they asked me if the fire brigade had ever been out, and I was thinking, why are you asking me that? And it's all to do with like cooking and things like that. So basically, I said that if I'm left to cook, a lot of the time I burn my food, so I need somebody there to just tell me when to get food out of the oven and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, well, one time I set the toaster on fire, and she was like, "Oh, how did you do that? How did you deal with that?" And I said, "Well, I didn't know what to do, to be honest." I said, "But first of all, I was thinking I should put water on it, but then I thought the electric, it'd probably send it up in flames." um, and then I started blowing on it, and in the end, I just threw it out the window. And I think she was a bit speechless at that point. So I said, fire brigade didn't come out, but the the toaster ended up outside. So yeah, they asked me if I have pets, and they asked me what kind of place I live in, and just weird questions like that. So I told them that we have 2 cats here, but they're not actually our cats, they're my fiance's mum's cats. And it's always to try and catch you out, to be like, oh, well, you can feed your animals, so you must be able to feed yourself properly. And just things like that, really, just to try and trick you. I had all of my notes in front of me anyway because I photocopied everything, but I didn't actually need to reference them at all because obviously everything that I said was completely true. So I just kept on giving out the information. My fiance chimed in if I needed help. There was a point where he really did help me out. I'll just try and think about it. What you doing, Beals? You gonna come on my lap? No! It's knocked my phone over. Come on! Beals! No! Stop rubbing your face on my phone. Come on my lap. So I'm trying to think of when he helped me out. Oh yeah, they were talking about work and they said, "What's your attendance like?" And I said, "Well, we've just come out of a lockdown, so I've only been back a month." I said, during the lockdown I had a lot of bad days. I said, "I'm back at work, and I'm just working through my bad days." And they were like, "Oh, okay, so your attendance is 100% then. Okay, we'll write that down." And I said, "Yeah, but I've only been back for a month. Before the lockdown, I was having a lot of time off because of my dizziness and my anxiety and depression. And yeah, they were just really kind of they wanted to write down what they interpreted themselves rather than what you physically said to them. So be very careful in how you answer. So obviously having a panic attack, halfway through my panic attack I was thinking, oh no, what if they think I'm faking my panic attack? What if just like all these like irrational thoughts go through your head. Because obviously clearly I was not faking it. But yeah, I just had all these thoughts go through my head. It was a really horrible, really hard situation, and the lady that I had was not very supportive, I would say. She was very kind of standoffish the whole time. The case manager, the one that I think it was a case manager, the one that spoke to me afterwards, actually said like asked me questions, and she was really nice. She actually like sympathized with me, which was really appreciated, rather than feeling like you're being interrogated. It was more like kind of like they understand, which is what you kind of need when you're going through an assessment like that. I was very glad to have stayed at home and done it over the phone. I honestly don't know how I would have coped in person. Just trying to think of any other questions they asked me. Oh yeah, they ask you a lot about physical things. So they asked me if I struggle in the bath, like to get in and out of the bath, and I said no, I don't struggle getting in and out of the bath, but I do struggle actually getting in the bath, if that makes sense, like the motivation to actually get in the bath. And I said, like being a hairdresser, I've turned up to work with greasy hair, unbrushed hair, because I've just got no motivation. And then to that they said, oh, but you can still go to work on your bad days then. And that's when my fiance chimed in and said, you've got to realise that the overwhelming fear of letting somebody down can be a major thing with people with anxiety. They don't want to let people down, so even on her bad days she will go in because she doesn't want to upset anybody. And then the assessor then said, oh yeah, I understand that. But who knows if they did understand that? We will find out when I get my my results back. So I'm going to do another video when I get my report back. I'm hoping that it'll be good news, but I don't know if it will be. I feel like as soon as you say that you work, they kind of write you off a little bit. But I don't understand why they would think that anybody who doesn't deserve to have PIP would actually apply for it. Because it took a lot for me to actually apply for it. It took a lot for me to go to the doctors last year and actually start medication for my mental health after suffering with it for over 10 years. And finally going to the doctors and seeking help. So I sent obviously all of my documents and everything back when I sent my form off. So I haven't got any other information that I need to send off. So I'm just hoping that this will be enough. Luckily, my sister applied for PIP and got it first time, because unfortunately quite a lot of people in my family really suffer with their mental health. And she actually didn't send any supporting evidence, which I would not recommend. So if you want any more information about the type of information that you need to send off, watch one of my previous videos. I can't remember exactly what one it was, but just watch them both, it's fine. So yeah, I basically cried through most of my assessment. I got the assessors to repeat themselves a lot, and my fiance did chime in and help a few times as well. So I would really suggest, if you have mental health problems, or if you feel like you can't talk for yourself at some points, have somebody with you and tell the people that are assessing you that you have somebody with you that's helping you through your assessment. Because if you don't, they might not say that anybody was with you, even if they are with you. So just make sure you clarify, this is such and such, and they are with me today because I need somebody with me. And even write yourself notes. Another thing that they said to me, actually, they were talking about going out, and they said, oh, so socialising is something that I really, really struggle with. Although I'm a hairdresser, which some it doesn't make sense, but yeah, I really struggle with social situations. And they said to me, oh, so you know, you can talk to your fiance and you can talk to his mum. So is that right in saying that you're really good at communicating with people, or something along those lines? And I said, well, I can talk to my fiance and I can speak to my mum who's over the road, but I don't feel really comfortable with anybody else. And I said it took me a very, very long time to get used to my fiance's mum. Like, she's a lovely lady and I've got nothing against her, but I have like a mental block in my head. When I meet new people, it takes me a long time to warm to them. So I said that, and then they were talking about my clients at work and do I have conversations with them. So they really did go into everything. And I was just honest. I said I do speak to my clients, but I get really worked up over some of the things that they say to me, and I've come home in tears thinking that they don't like me, thinking that I'm going to lose my job. So all of these irrational thoughts in my head that a neurotypical person just wouldn't think twice about. So, and then they said, how do you get on with your colleagues? And I said, well, I get on okay with them. They're all really good with me. They really reassure me and help me. They know how to deal with me if I'm having a panic attack or any physical problems. So I just really went into absolutely everything. I was as honest as I could be. And I will say, if you are lying about something, they will catch you out. So just don't lie. It's as easy as that. Just don't lie. And if you feel like you have to lie about loads of things, then you shouldn't be claiming PIP. So only apply if you actually need the help. You know, and as I was saying before I did the assessment, oh, I've had a few good weeks, you know. Literally, before my assessment, I burst out in tears and I was shaking so much. And through my assessment, I had a massive panic attack and I was full on anxiety the whole time through. So it's situations like that that prove that I need help. And as I said before, I think, why would you apply for it if you didn't need the help? Why would anybody willingly put themselves through this? It's been a horrible experience. It's made my anxiety even worse, which a lot of people say that it does that. And I just want it over and done with now. And I just really hope that when I get my letter back, it isn't just a bunch of lies. I said to Tom, my fiance, like, imagine if we're reading it through and it's just saying, like, Emma's the most social person that we've ever met in our lives, and she's really good at communicating with people, and she goes out all the time, and this, that, and the other. So I literally said to them, my schedule is go to work, come home, and that is it. Like, I'll pop over to my mum who lives over the road, but I don't meet up with friends, or I extremely rarely meet up with friends, obviously COVID aside. And I said to them, like, throughout COVID, my life didn't change at all, really, like, because I have no social life. So yeah, I hope that I've answered their questions in a way that they can't twist it around and make it sound like I'm absolutely fine, because I'm not. So yeah, I'll do an update when I get the assessment letter through, telling me how I did, and I will go through that with you in another video, and let's just fingers crossed that I get PIP, and fingers crossed that you get PIP as well if you're applying for it. Please don't let this put you off any of this. I'm simply doing these videos just to kind of give you my point of view from it and my advice. So yeah, I'm not going to be one of these people that's going to tell you, oh, there's no point in claiming PIP, because if you feel like you are entitled to it, then there's every point in applying for it. So don't give up, and I will see you in the next one.